We're going to talk nutrition now with my guest Matt Lovett from APS Fitness. Matt, tell me about nutrition and particularly the kind of things that everybody should be looking at in terms of eating more healthily.
Yeah, well, the first thing that everyone should do is to eat as real a food as possible. So nice natural food. And what we mean by that is kind of single ingredient food that either grows from the earth or lives off the earth. Does that make sense?
Right,
So
yeah.
like apples, broccoli, chicken, these things don't have ingredients lists. And they provide the nutrition that our body needs the most.
And so you advise people to, when they're shopping, to actually look for things that do come just as a single ingredient.
Yeah, things that are single ingredients and things that will go off quickly, things that like aren't necessarily frozen and won't last for 4 years. And if they do happen to have an ingredients list, at least let it be made up of real ingredients. So if you get an ingredients list and there's something that you don't own at home, like an absorbing agent or chemical this or chemical that you wouldn't put in it if you were making it, then leave it on the shelf. Don't buy that either. So just real single ingredient foods that then you can put together to make more interesting and you can make meals out of, but that are real and natural.
Right. We all talk a lot about protein and carbs and fats. How should people think about blending those together?
I think that, it's very individual. What you're trying to achieve and who you are and how you digest things will all affect that. Where I would start is trying to balance it. So try and eat an even amount of protein, fat and carbohydrates and see how it suits you. Your body's a very good feedback mechanism. It will tell you whether it liked it. Did you have enough energy? Were you hungry quickly? Did you digest it well? And then you can start to play and change it from there, as well as changing it according to your goals and what you're trying to do with food.
Do you find people when they come to you as a personal trainer and talk to you about their nutrition, do you find people need a lot of advice on this, or is this something that people already know already, they just need to be cajoled into doing it?
I think it's both. I think that there's a lot of information out there and people have heard of stuff, but there's so much now that they're confused. They don't really know. They're paralyzed by too much information, if that makes sense. So, and people like nice tasting sugary food.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of both. You've got to kind of clarify the information, get them to understand what's needed, and then you've got to set up protocols and habits so they can do it.
Right. And you actually work out custom nutrition plans for all of your clients?
Yeah, we help them do it themselves. So we kind of give them feedback things and cues to look for. And if you're getting some, that's good, and if you're getting other cues, that's bad, and maybe don't eat that food anymore. Does that make sense? So we use them as the feedback. If you eat something and you feel horrible, don't eat it again.
Yeah.
If you eat something and it promotes energy and you're looking good and feeling good, then keep eating it.
I find that in fitness, a lot of people underestimate the importance of nutrition. Everybody goes to the gym or goes out running or have you, but nutrition sometimes becomes a secondary priority. And I find with my clients, I have to try and move that up a little bit. Do you find the same?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think some people try to out-exercise a bad diet, and there's more treats to be had in the food world than the exercise world. So it can get complicated in the nutrition world. But yeah, you kind of open it up to them, find ways of getting them to do it, and once they experience feeling better and doing better, they tend to stick with it. And it also helps you not be extreme in other assets. If you're eating well, you don't have to exercise like a crazy person trying to outrun it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a question of balance, get the nutrition right and get the exercise right.
The more we can balance everything, the better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Matt, thanks so much for coming along.
No worries, thanks for having me.